Imagine standing in front of 4 doors. No labels, no explanations, just instinct. Now here's the real question. What if the door you feel drawn to isn't random, but a direct reflection of your unconscious mind? In today's psychology test inspired by Carl Jung, you're going to choose one door, and that choice may reveal a hidden emotional pattern shaping your personality, your relationships, and even your loneliness. Studies in depth psychology suggest that when we make symbolic choices without overthinking, we expose parts of ourselves we normally keep buried. So don't analyze. Don't try to be logical. Just notice which door pulls you in first. Because by the end of this video, you might realize something unexpected. 99% of people choose the door that keeps them stuck. The real question is, will you? Door 1 represents independence, but not the kind most people think about. If this was the door that immediately caught your attention, there's a strong chance you pride yourself on being self-reliant. You don't like depending on others. You solve your own problems. You carry your own weight. On the surface, that looks like strength. And in many ways, it is. But according to Carl Jung's depth psychology, extreme independence can sometimes mask a deeper emotional pattern: controlled vulnerability. People drawn to door 1 often learned early in life that relying on others led to disappointment. Maybe trust was broken. Maybe emotional needs weren't fully met. So the unconscious mind adapts. It builds competence. It builds resilience. It builds a personality that says, I don't need anyone. And over time, that identity becomes part of your conscious self-image. But here's where it gets interesting. Jung believed that what we consciously value the most often hides what we unconsciously fear. If independence defines you, ask yourself this: do you choose strength, or do you avoid intimacy? There is a difference. True psychological strength includes connection. It includes interdependence. It allows space for others without feeling threatened. This door doesn't mean you're emotionally closed. It means your growth edge is subtle. You may attract relationships where you are the stable one, the rational one, the dependable one. But deep down, there may be a quiet desire to be understood without always being the strong one. Before you move on, reflect carefully. When was the last time you allowed someone to see uncertainty in you? That answer reveals more than the door itself. And door may second challenge this pattern even further. Door 2 represents connection, the deep human need to belong, to be seen, and to feel emotionally understood. If this door pulled you in first, your personality is likely wired around relationships, social awareness, and emotional intelligence. You notice subtle shifts in tone. You read body language quickly. You sense when something feels off. In many ways, this is a psychological strength. But in Jungian psychology, every strength carries a shadow. Carl Jung taught that the unconscious often balances our conscious identity. If you see yourself as the empathetic one, the supportive friend, the emotionally available partner, your hidden pattern may revolve around fear of rejection. Not dramatic rejection, but subtle emotional distance. You may overanalyze text messages. You may replay conversations in your mind. You may invest heavily in maintaining harmony. This does not mean you are insecure. It means your nervous system values connection highly. The danger, however, is losing parts of yourself while trying to preserve closeness. People drawn to door 2 sometimes shapeshift slightly in different environments, adjusting to what feels safe socially. Over time, this can blur personal boundaries. Here's the critical reflection. Do you connect from authenticity, or from the need to avoid being alone? Jung believed true individuation happens when we can be connected without abandoning our individuality. If door 2 is yours, your growth is not about becoming less caring. It's about strengthening your internal anchor so relationships feel chosen, not necessary for validation. And there's something even deeper. The door you almost chose might reveal the trait you suppress. Pay attention to that hesitation, because door 3 exposes a completely different emotional driver. Door 3 represents control, not in an obvious or aggressive way, but in a quiet, internal need to predict outcomes and minimize emotional risk. If this door stood out to you first, your personality likely values strategy, foresight, and mental preparation. You prefer clarity over chaos. You think before you speak. You analyze before you act. In behavioral psychology terms, you operate with high cognitive monitoring. But through a Jungian lens, this pattern often hides something deeper. Carl Jung described the psyche as constantly seeking balance between order and the unknown. When someone gravitates toward symbolic control, it can indicate an unconscious discomfort with uncertainty. Maybe at some point in your life, unpredictability led to stress, conflict, or instability. The mind adapts by becoming hyper-aware. Planning becomes protection. Logic becomes armor. Here's where it becomes powerful. Control is not weakness. It is intelligence applied to survival. However, when overused, it can block spontaneity, intimacy, and creative flow. People who choose door 3 sometimes struggle with delegation. Trust feels earned slowly. Letting things unfold naturally can feel irresponsible rather than freeing. Ask yourself this. When plans change unexpectedly, do you feel flexible or internally unsettled? That reaction reveals more about your unconscious than your daily habits ever could. Jung believed growth happens when we consciously face the traits we rely on most. If control defines your strength, surrender might define your evolution. But don't assume this is the final layer. The door you resisted could reveal your hidden emotional counterbalance. And door 4 uncovers the one pattern most people avoid recognizing in themselves. Door 4 represents depth, the pull toward meaning, introspection, and emotional intensity. If this door was the one you chose first, your psychological pattern likely revolves around self-analysis and internal exploration. You don't just experience emotions, you examine them. You replay conversations. You question motives. You search for patterns in your own behavior and in the people around you. In Jungian psychology, this reflects a strong connection to the inner world, the unconscious, archetypes, and symbolic thinking. Carl Jung believed some individuals are naturally oriented inward, driven by a need to understand the layers beneath surface reality. If door 4 resonated with you, you may often feel different from others. Not superior, just aware of subtleties most people overlook. You sense emotional undercurrents in social settings. You detect shifts in energy. You notice contradictions between what people say and what they truly mean. But here is the shadow side. Depth can quietly turn into over-identification with complexity. When every experience must have profound meaning, simplicity can feel unsatisfying. You may withdraw socially when conversations feel shallow. You may crave authentic connection yet struggle to find people who match your intensity. This can lead to periods of loneliness, not because you lack social skill, but because your threshold for emotional depth is high. Ask yourself something honest. Do you seek truth, or do you sometimes avoid vulnerability by staying in analysis mode? Jung warned that too much introspection without action can create isolation. Real individuation requires balance, inner awareness combined with outward engagement. If door 4 is yours, your strength is insight. Your growth lies in expressing that insight openly. And the door you hesitated on might reveal the trait that completes your psychological pattern. No matter which door you chose, independence, connection, control, or depth, none of them define you completely. In Carl Jung's psychology, every personality pattern contains both strength and shadow. The goal is not to label yourself, but to become aware of the unconscious forces influencing your behavior, relationships, and emotional decisions. Real self-discovery is not about being right or wrong. It's about recognizing the patterns that quietly shape your habits, your loneliness, your social behavior, and even the way you approach love and trust. If you reflect honestly, you'll notice something powerful. The door that felt safest may reveal your dominant coping strategy, while the door you almost avoided might represent your growth edge. Jung called this process individuation, the lifelong journey of integrating hidden aspects of the personality into conscious awareness. In modern psychology terms, this means expanding emotional flexibility rather than staying locked in one behavioral identity. Here's the deeper question to carry with you. Are your current life choices aligned with your conscious values, or are they driven by unconscious emotional patterns formed years ago? That awareness alone can change how you communicate, how you set boundaries, and how you respond to conflict or rejection. Psychological growth doesn't happen by accident. It begins with noticing. And today, your instinctive choice gave you a mirror. Not a mystical prediction, not a fixed label, but a reflection of your inner world. If this test resonated with you, explore the other doors again, slowly. Sometimes the second choice reveals what the first one hides. If you found this psychology test insightful and want more deep personality analysis based on Carl Jung and modern behavioral psychology, make sure to subscribe now and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next psychological test. These videos are designed to help you understand your personality traits, emotional patterns, relationships, and unconscious behavior on a deeper level. Leave a like if this test made you reflect. It helps this channel reach more people interested in psychology, self-discovery, and human behavior. And in the comments, write the number of the door you chose. 1, 2, 3, or 4. I read the comments to see which personality patterns appear most often, and your answer adds to that conversation. If you want to go deeper right now, watch the video linked in the card on your screen. It reveals another hidden psychological pattern that shapes your social behavior and emotional decisions. And don't forget to check out the full Carl Jung personality test playlist, where you'll find more in-depth psychological insights designed for self-awareness and personal growth. Stay curious about your mind. The more you understand your unconscious patterns, the more control you gain over your life decisions.